Think about this for a second. There was a kid born in a tiny village in Austria who didn't speak English, who had a name nobody could pronounce, and a body that people thought was just too big for Hollywood. Every agent he walked up to told him the same thing. You'll never make it. Change your name, lose the accent, forget it. And you know what he did? He proved every single one of them dead wrong.
Yes, 7 times, Mr. Universe 5 times. Folks, would you please welcome Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He didn't just make it to Hollywood, he became Hollywood. His movies made over $4 billion worldwide. His lines became part of everyday life. And decades later, people are still talking about him. So today we are going back, all the way back. We're looking at the man, the roles, the legend, and how Arnold Schwarzenegger went from a small-town kid with big dreams to one of the most recognizable faces on the entire planet. Stay with me, because some of what you're about to hear might actually surprise you. Before the fame, the man nobody believed in, before the movie posters, before the catchphrases, before any of that, there was just a young Arnold in Thal, Austria, lifting weights in a gym with no heat in the winter. He started bodybuilding at 15. By the time he was 20, he had already won the Mr. Universe title. And by his mid-20s, he had won the Mr. Olympia Championship, the Super Bowl of bodybuilding, 7 times. But here's the thing most people forget. Winning those titles wasn't enough for Arnold. He wanted more. He wanted to act. He wanted America. So he packed up and came to the United States, barely speaking the language, and started knocking on doors. The doors kept closing. Casting directors told him his body looked weird for the screen. They said his Austrian accent was too thick. They said his name, Arnold Schwarzenegger, was simply too hard to market. But he never stopped showing up. And that stubbornness, that refusal to quit, that's what makes his story connect with so many of us. Conan the Barbarian, the role that started everything. In 1982, something shifted. A sword and sandal film called Conan the Barbarian hit theaters. And Arnold, this big quiet guy with a thick accent, carried the entire movie on his shoulders. He played a warrior seeking revenge for the murder of his family. There weren't many long speeches, there wasn't much dialogue at all. But the way Arnold moved, the way he commanded that screen, audiences leaned in. People walked out of that theater talking about him. Conan proved one thing: you don't always need perfect words when your presence says everything. It was the role that opened the door. But what came next, that's what changed everything forever. The Terminator, the role that made history. Director James Cameron had a vision, a cold, emotionless, unstoppable machine sent from the future to kill one woman. He needed someone who could play something that felt more like a force of nature than a human being. He chose Arnold, and with 3 simple words, "I'll be back," cinema was never the same again. The Terminator was made on a modest budget. Nobody expected it to explode the way it did. But that film launched one of the most successful sci-fi franchises in history. It turned Arnold from a recognizable face into a global icon. What's fascinating is that Arnold almost didn't play the Terminator. He was originally being considered for the hero role, but he pushed to play the villain, the machine, because he understood something. He knew that the character's silence and cold intensity was exactly where his strengths would shine. That's smart thinking, and it paid off in a massive way. Then came Terminator 2 Judgment Day in 1991, flipping the whole script, making the same machine the protector, the good guy. When that movie dropped, it became Arnold's highest grossing film ever and one of the greatest action films ever made. The 80s legacy, more than just a tough guy. Now here's something that often gets overlooked in all the discussions about Arnold's legacy. And honestly, even a video titled 9 Most Iconic 80s Arnold Schwarzenegger Characters Ranked touched on this. He was never just one thing. Yes, he was the action guy, the muscle, the unstoppable force. But look closer. Predator in 1987, one of the most intense jungle thrillers ever put on screen. Get to the Chopper became part of American pop culture vocabulary. Commando in 1985, pure, over-the-top 80s action that still holds up as one of the most entertaining films of that decade. Twins, where he played a comedy role opposite Danny DeVito and made over $200 million at the box office, proving he could make people laugh just as easily as he could make them hold their breath. The 80s didn't just make Arnold famous. They proved he had range, real range. He was playing killers, warriors, comedic, gentle giants, sometimes all in the same year. That kind of versatility is rare, and it's part of why his audience never got tired of him. Then versus now, where is Arnold today? So where does a legend go from there? After the peak of his film career, Arnold did something almost no Hollywood star had ever done before. He walked into politics and won. He became the governor of California in 2003 and served until 2011. Think about that transition, from the Terminator to the governor, from movie sets to state policy. The same discipline, the same drive, just pointed in a completely different direction. And even after all of that, he didn't disappear. Today, Arnold is still here. He's in his late 70s, still working out every single day. He still acts. His Netflix series FUBAR brought him back to screens for a whole new generation. He runs a daily newsletter focused on health and motivation. He raises animals on his property, horses, donkeys, a pig, and shares it all with the world online. He's living proof that reinvention never has an age limit. The man who was told he'd never make it has outlasted almost everyone who doubted him. What his legacy really means. Here's the real takeaway. Arnold Schwarzenegger's legacy isn't just about movies. It's about what happens when an ordinary person refuses to accept an ordinary life. He didn't have connections. He didn't have the right name or the right accent or the right look for Hollywood. He had grit, he had vision, and he showed up every single day with both. That's a story that doesn't get old. That's why people who grew up watching his films in the 80s still feel something when they hear, "I'll be back." And it's why younger people are discovering him for the first time and feeling the exact same thing. Some legacies fade. His only seems to grow. And that right there is the story of the legend. If this brought back some great memories for you or taught you something new, go ahead and hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel grow and reach more people who love this kind of content. And if you want more videos like this, deep dives into iconic figures, legendary careers, and the stories behind the stars, subscribe to Quick Trend. We'll be right here waiting for you. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one.